a royal exclusive for royal exclusive. We know that they have bought property in Portugal, and that there was maybe debate or argument that perhaps they were using it they might want to live there. My understanding is that
when Hollywood crosses paths with a royal PR mess, things get messy fast. Nicole Kidman may have just let slip one of Meghan and Harry's most cringeworthy stunts yet. That dreamy Portugal mansion? Turns out it never existed. The glamorous story they spun about a European escape has completely unraveled. And thanks to Nicole's accidental reveal, the truth is out, and it's not pretty. This might just be their most embarrassing misstep so far.
Yet. That they are investing money into things like businesses and possibly other property. Now, their Netflix deal is coming to an end soon. Is this a sensible way for the Sussexes to consolidate the money that they've earned over the years? What message do you think this sends out, that this is
For a couple who've built their brand on polished images and clever distractions, the reveal of their fake mansion isn't just a slip-up, it's a full-blown crack in their carefully curated world. What was meant to dazzle has backfired, sparking outrage, doubt, and yet another storm that could wipe out what little trust remains. Let's unravel the truth behind the Portugal fantasy. A shiny illusion Harry and Meghan never thought would be exposed.
That it has been probably not the post-royal career that they had thought financially, because a lot of, their Spotify deal was ended. I think that was last year. The Netflix deal is coming to an end, and I don't think they've produced as much as they would have thought they were going to. And they do have to have another plan.
For months, the headlines painted a dreamy picture, Harry and Meghan tucked away in a peaceful, lavish retreat in Portugal. It felt like the next glossy page in their post-royal fairy tale. There were photos, whispers from unnamed insiders, about ocean views, eco-luxury, and a quiet life far from the palace chaos. But here's what they didn't show you.
What next? What else can we do? And it is a solid investment. So it seems like they are turning their attention to other avenues of, earning money.
I think property is a good investment. I'm sure you're right, Matt. You've got very good sources on these things.
There was no mansion, not theirs at least. Insiders now say the dreamy estate was just a rented backdrop, staged for photos, built for appearances. It was never a home, just another illusion in their carefully crafted story. Paperwork, property, records, and local registries all tell the same tale. No ownership, no lease, nothing real. It wasn't a symbol of peace or success. It was a set piece sold to the world as part of their brand, but rooted in make-believe.
Good leaping off point.
And also, and it puts Harry in a position where he can actually stay for a longer period close to England. So when he comes back, he's been back like 4 times.
But why not just buy somewhere in the UK?
It can be both. They could use it once, twice a year and still a good investment. But
why not just buy somewhere in the UK? They haven't bought anywhere in the UK. They bought somewhere in Portugal to kind of put their money if they were insisting on having a base in Europe or an escape plan for one of them.
It wasn't peace or privacy. It was pure PR theater. And then the moment that unraveled it all. During a casual red carpet chat about filming in Europe, Nicole Kidman dropped a quiet bombshell. She offhandedly mentioned the now notorious Portugal property, saying it was often used for photo shoots and brand events, even joking that no one really lives there. What she probably didn't realize, her comment completely shattered the picture-perfect story Harry and Meghan had been selling for months. Once reporters pieced it all together, the illusion crumbled.
So that Charles and William can have their moment?
I think she is genuinely probably doing a lot of sort of work in the background for this project with Netflix and this American Riviera Orchard. I think that's the thing that she's focusing on, and I think she's had a few problems with trademark or something, or with the name of the thing, and probably got to go through some legal battles. But
the illusion shattered, and suddenly all eyes were back on the couple who've made a career out of crafting their own version of reality. This wasn't their first smoke and mirrors moment. Remember the Montecchio mansion? The $14 million palace hailed as their fresh start, their royal-free sanctuary. But when the Netflix spotlight dimmed, so did their grip on that dream. Whispers began, money troubles, quiet attempts to sell, tensions with the neighbors. So when the Portugal story surfaced, it felt like déjà vu, another polished chapter in the Sussex storybook. But this time, they didn't just bend the truth, they broke it.
separate ways, don't they? And it's not
Just on that, Phil, going their separate ways, business ways.
going their separate ways.
Always clarifying that.
No evidence that they're splitting up at the moment. Personally, I mean, I think we all sort of have our doubts as to whether the marriage will last, for 10, 20, 30 years, but only time will tell. But in terms of their, business and charitable activity,
They didn't just twist the story, they invented it. The Portugal mansion wasn't a peaceful new home. It was a staged illusion, and you might think, so what if they faked a house? But here's why it matters. Harry and Meghan have built their entire image around truth, vulnerability, and wellness. They ask for privacy, but constantly stay in the spotlight. They play the victims while crafting elaborate scenes designed to win sympathy and status. This wasn't a harmless PR slip. It was a calculated move to prop up a brand that thrives on emotional appeal and picture-perfect luxury. And if they can lie so easily about something as simple as a home, what else is being staged? Since Nicole Kidman's offhand remark, the internet's been buzzing. Critics aren't just angry about the lie, they're stunned by the arrogance. It took to think no one would catch on. Even Hollywood insiders are reportedly growing tired of the Sussexes' ever-deepening game of manipulation.
Ban it from all broadcasts.
make some
and
wine with it.
newspapers.
Yeah.
Right, we have some quick fire questions to wrap up the show, so I hope you're ready. We did a lot on documentaries in this episode because there's been a lot. So which royal documentary would you most like to see and why?
You're looking at me.
Who wants to go?
I'd like to say,
With the listeners now quietly stepping back from the couple, the ripple effects are hard to ignore as royal watchers draw parallels to past PR scandals, but this time it's not about Meghan's history, it's about a present-day deception that hits at the heart of their brand. The Portugal fantasy didn't just fall apart, it exposed a deeper truth, revealing a royal duo more committed to illusion than honesty. And as the media storm intensifies, one pressing question lingers in the air. How far are Harry and Meghan willing to go to keep the spotlight shining on them? If the mansion was a lie, what does that say about the empire they've carefully constructed since Megxit? Up next is the bigger picture, connecting how this staged home fits into a growing web of misdirection, slowly unraveling the image they've fought to protect, all triggered by a single casual comment from Nicole Kidman at a glamorous European gala where she referred to their Portugal property as a beautifully designed set. A word that instantly raised eyebrows, because if it was a set, what else had been staged? Social media erupted, sleuths and insiders launched deep dives, and the findings were damning. No ownership, no lease, no legal tie to Harry, Meghan, or even the Archwell brand. In a world where receipts live online forever, the truth was just a few clicks away, and when it came, it hit hard. The illusion didn't just crack. It exploded, and what it left behind was a glaring spotlight on a couple whose image may never fully recover.
We talk about her so much, but we don't know that much about the Princess of Wales actually. We know exactly what she's delivered. I would love to see a very similar style thing to what William's doing, but with her early years work. So over the course of a year, I would love to see that from her because we would actually learn more about the woman herself. And it's not a criticism that we don't know more. I think she's had a really tough year and she's a parent and she's got, her own privacy, but
It was nothing more than a dressed-up Airbnb, staged with precision for the cameras and crafted to sell a dream. Photos from a rental listing matched almost perfectly with the interior scene in Meghan's wellness videos and Harry's charity. Messages, the goal? To keep feeding the illusion of wealth, status, and global royalty to an American audience hungry for image over authenticity. For Meghan, public perception is power. Every post, every documentary frame is part of a bigger narrative, one where they've broken free from the stiff rules of the British monarchy to become a sleek, modern royal brand. But Kidman's unintentional slip ripped that narrative wide open, exposing a truth long whispered by critics. It's all a performance. Meghan has often been accused of valuing beauty over honesty, and now the Portugal story arms those critics with undeniable proof. Even royal insiders are beginning to say that Harry, once the down-to-earth rebel, has fully embraced Meghan's image-first playbook. And his silence as the fake mansion story unravels? It's only deepening the suspicion that he's not just along for the ride, he's part of the act. Harry's no longer just a bystander. He's complicit whether he's trying to protect his family's collapsing image or truly believes in the illusion. One thing is clear: the credibility he once had built on honesty and emotional openness is now barely holding on. Entertainment insiders say producers and sponsors are growing hesitant to involve the couple in future projects. The mansion scandal didn't just reveal a fake house, it introduced a darker narrative, one rooted in deception, because if they can fake a home, what else might be staged? The charity work, the personal struggles, the heartfelt testimonials. It's a domino effect, and Hollywood, already uneasy from under-delivered deals, is backing away fast. The glossy backdrops and dramatic storytelling can't cover the cracks anymore. The Portugal property scandal might seem small in isolation, but symbolically it's seismic. It shows the slow erosion of truth in their brand. A brand once praised for breaking royal tradition now looks more like a performance clinging to relevance at any cost. Nicole Kidman may not have meant to expose them, but with one offhand comment, she shattered the illusion and hit the one place they couldn't afford to lose control of the narrative. Now, the fallout is spreading fast, with fresh investigations into the Archewell Foundation's finances and critics questioning whether the charity is more about optics than impact. That so-called mansion once featured under Archewell's global wellness initiative now feels less like a center for healing and more like a stage built to dazzle an audience hungry for inspiration but left with smoke and mirrors. Producers are reportedly growing cautious, and whispers of compliance checks from watchdog groups are beginning to surface. Public trust is a delicate thing, and Harry and Meghan have been walking the edge for years, but the Portugal mansion debacle might just be the breaking point for many. The backlash has been swift and brutal, with comment sections, YouTube exposes, and tabloid headlines now painting them less as advocates and more as illusionists, crafting carefully staged realities rather than standing on genuine integrity. Unlike their usual controversies, this one digs deeper. It questions who they truly are and highlights a consistent pattern of manipulation. While the British royal family remains characteristically silent, insiders suggest this latest scandal has only strengthened their belief that cutting ties with the couple was the right move. Some palace aides have even dubbed the Portugal fallout a gift handed to them. It's not hard to imagine a quiet sense of vindication behind palace walls as Harry and Meghan's Hollywood dream begins to unravel after enduring years of accusations and criticism from the Sussex camp. The tide has clearly shifted, and at the center of it all stands Nicole Kidman, who may have unintentionally become the unexpected truth teller in this unfolding drama. Her brief, unscripted remark has not only sparked global conversations but also drawn discreet support from others in the industry. Some call it a graceful slip, others see it as a quiet rebellion from a seasoned actress tired of watching celebrity culture be overtaken by those who manufacture controversy instead of earning respect through real talent.